Hi, welcome to Charting Change with Jill, I'm Jill, and I wanted to talk about the first step to healing after narcissistic abuse. So I know if you're still living with or co-parenting with a narcissist and you feel like maybe you're drowning in guilt, confusion, emotional chaos, this video is your lifeline. You're not stuck. There is a first step toward healing, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. So let's talk about the gray rock method, especially if you can't just go no contact. So in one of my previous videos, we talked about what if you're stuck in a relationship with a narcissist, you can't get out, maybe you have kids. So what do? And so I looked into it and found out a little bit more information about the gray rock method. So let's talk about that a little bit. So here we go. Gray rock means being emotionally dull and neutral. You respond with no emotion, no personal information, no reaction. So you're going to think about short answers, factual, not emotional. No defending, no engaging with bait. So how does that look in real life? So they say to you, "Why didn't you bring the kids earlier? You're always so selfish." You would respond, "We arrived at 3, just as it was scheduled." That's it. You don't defend yourself. You don't show any kind of emotion, no energy, no fuel to their fire, because that's what they want. They want an emotional reaction from you. They want you to engage with them because that fuels them on the inside. It makes them feel powerful to know that they got you. They could push your buttons. And so you want to make sure that all your emotional needs are met somewhere else, that you are not needing that emotional connection with your narcissist co-parent or whoever it is that you have to deal with on a regular basis, that is absolutely trying to get into your head, trying to break you down, right? So hook onto your family and friends for the emotional support and love that you deserve and need. Look within yourself to love yourself, but please don't engage with the narcissist. So this gray rock method, you're boring. You are not interesting to them at all. They aren't getting fed by your emotional reaction. Straight, factual answers that have nothing to do with opinion, nothing. So you are always so late. We're supposed to pick up the kids together. You're such a selfish person. So okay. We emailed and said that we would exchange the kids at 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. I'm here. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Goodbye. There is just nothing more aggravating to the narcissist than a factual, non-emotional response to them. Okay, so let's practice that. Okay, the next item was limited contact, right? So if you can't go fully no contact, we have limited contact. Written communication only if possible. Texts, co-parenting apps. I know that they have this through the court system. Is where it looks for trigger languages where somebody might be abusive. It's if you can if you're dealing with your co-parent through courts right now, this is something that the courts can order so that it is visible to the people in the court, and so they can't be abusive. It will show up the next time you go to court. You say, hey, look at this. You have access to it too. So if you can get onto that kind of app, I cannot remember what it was called, but I did have to use it in the past. With that, written communications only, right? The co-parenting apps ordered through the courts. They're out there. Work on that. It does look for that trigger language and those type of relationships where you're getting narcissistic abuse and just they're demonizing you and trying to damn you in court. So get that if you can. Stick to facts about logistics, drop-offs, pickups, school, things like that. These are the facts. School's out at 3 o'clock. You need to be there at 2:50 to be in the pickup line on your day to pick up Sally, so that's it. No other information needed. You don't want to vent to them. You don't want to react to them, and do not tell them anything personal about you currently, what your update is. Oh, are you dating now that you left me? Who are you seeing? Well, tell me all about them. Don't tell them anything. It's none of their business. This is an abuser. They're just going to twist it up and use it against you. So just nothing. It's none of their business. You do not need to explain to them. You don't need to defend yourself to them. You just give them the facts that they need to work with you on your co-parenting or whatever the situation is where you have no choice but to deal with them. Okay? So let's talk about let's talk about guilt conditioning. This is the weapon that the narcissist is using to keep you controlled. Okay, so when you set a boundary, they're going to twist it up. They're going to do everything they can to try and cross that line. When you say no, they make you feel like you're the monster. This happens especially in co-parenting. Wow, you care more about hurting me than you care about the kids. That's not true, and you know that's not true. You're not trying to hurt the narcissist. You're just trying to parent your children, and you have to deal with that narcissist person. Another thing they might say is, you're making their life harder by doing this. No, you're not. No, you're not. It is not in your kid's best interest to be in a house where this toxic crap is going on. They see the gaslighting. They're learning from it too. My God, they're so exposed to it. It's damaging them too. So no, you're not making their life harder by getting some separation from this narcissistic parent. Like, they need a break just as much as you need a break. Think about that. You are doing the best thing for your children by giving them a break from their other narcissistic parent. Honestly. And I gotta tell you, that is the main reason I got out of my narcissistic relationship, was because I could see how much damage it was causing my own children, how just disrespectful and horrible he was to them, and them seeing how he was treating me. And so I couldn't take that anymore. And so I just didn't want them to be exposed to that kind of behavior anymore. I don't want them to think that that's okay. So that was part of my breaking point to get me the heck out of there. There was a whole lot of factors, but that was one of them. So here's how to interrupt the guilt conditioning while still being in contact. So recognize that it's manipulation. Ask yourself, am I actually doing something wrong? Or am I just doing something that they don't like? And who cares if they don't like it, right? Like, what do you care? Ground in truth. Say to yourself, it's not cruel to have boundaries. It's healthy. It is healthy. You got to protect yourself and your own well-being. And third, use internal validation. What does that look like? You don't need their approval to parent well. You don't need to argue to be right. Now, I think that's the hardest one, because it is your instinct to defend yourself. So you want to argue with them because you know that they're wrong. You know they're gaslighting you, and you want to vindicate yourself. You want to show him or her or whoever that you're not wrong. So you want to argue it out. You want to stand your ground and your position, but all it's doing is fueling their fire and making them feel good. Ooh, I'm getting emotion from them. I'm getting a reaction from them. This is my opportunity to twist stuff up and beat them down again with their emotions or whatever else they might be doing, So you really you have to let it go. Whatever they're throwing at you, you gotta let it go. Don't react. State the facts, just the facts, right? It's so hard because you want to defend yourself, but it's fruitless. It is going to take you nowhere. So there's no point in it. Something that I have done is I started writing down some affirmations just to kind of get myself through the day. So here's some examples. My peace is not up for negotiation. I can be calm, stable parent without playing their game. And that's how I got back into my own control, right? So, when I was married to a narcissist, everything I did felt like a trap. Any word I said could be twisted. Any boundary I put down felt like I was betraying my partner. But when I start practicing the gray rock method and recognizing guilt for what it was, a tactic, not truth, I finally found peace. Not overnight, but in moments, and those moments grew. I realized that I cannot control how they behave, but I can control my energy. I can control my reactions and my focus. And that is where the freedom begins. So, if this helped you and you're ready for more, my full course does walk you through step by step how to regulate your nervous system, reclaim your identity, and build self-trust again. You can find the link in the description, and remember, you don't have to wait until you're fully out to start healing. You can begin right where you are today.